It's the Jack
and Cathy
show.
Shit Show.
And there we go.
Yeah, how was
okay,
that?
that, I think it. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey.
Okay. So it started the podcast. You know. Well, you're preoccupied with the lighting.
I know the
For
lighting.
anyone
I have a
that's
hot
not
spot
watching it,
right here, let alone the rings that are in my glasses.
well,
look at that.
do you want to switch seats with Moa?
No, that's all right. I'll just keep my head down like this and then not look at myself, and
Okay.
I won't care.
Okay.
All right, so my suggestion today. First of all,
Yes.
had a fantastic day with you, my love muffin.
Aw,
Yeah, didn't we have fun today?
that was really cute of you to say that.
I know. It was fun. So tell the peoples what we did today.
Can I tell them what we did in the morning?
Yeah, you're playing your 70s porn soundtrack, are you, right now?
So we did it 4 times this morning, which was exciting. By it, I mean nothing.
Oh, we started the morning. We had absolutely
I know.
nothing
So
on the
we had,
docket.
all right, so let's start there. So it's our first, it's really our first day in ages, right?
Where we haven't
Ages.
had an agenda or something to do. And normally Jack Honar gets out of bed at 4:35 a.m. and Cathy Riley likes to sleep a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but this morning we sort of both woke up at a similar time
6:30ish.
and decided to get some hot drinks, bring them into bed, and watch a rom-com.
Well, yeah, and it was so. I'm not sure I should admit all this kind of stuff publicly.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
I don't know what's coming.
No, I love
What's
rom-coms.
Oh,
I'm a
yes.
freaking
You
sap for that stuff.
Sappy. You sap.
I am very sappy.
I like that, though.
I know you do. I just don't know. Well, none of my guy friends are going to listen to this anyway, so it doesn't matter.
I have never been... I've never been like you, where it's not to say I haven't seen rom-coms and been like, oh, that's so cute. But you love rom-coms. And you will watch the same rom-com multiple times.
Hitch,
like,
Fade
what's
to
the
Launch,
holiday one that
Fools-
plays?
Oh, Love Actually makes me cry every time.
Love Actually.
I've seen it 100 times and I still well up.
You are glued to the screen as if you don't know what's happening next. And meanwhile, you can quote every line and you know every scene.
Yeah.
And yet you still cry.
I love it.
You still cry.
I love that. I'm a romantic.
That's very
I'm a
sweet.
sappy romantic. You know that.
So I was on TikTok and I saw one of this girl come on and say, these are my favorite rom-coms.
Right.
So we checked out all the trailers from that TikTok post.
Correct.
And I should see what she is so we can plug her.
We can plug her. Yeah,
she was really
that'd be a
cute.
good idea. She
Her
was
reviews
gorgeous.
were
She was
really,
awesome.
really cute. And we watched all the trailers and we landed on one, which was, what was it?
Oh, God.
What was
remember.
the-
It was the first one that she suggested. I just don't remember what it was.
Okay.
So you're going to look that
Let me
up right
see.
now. Because you
Yeah.
sent it to me.
Oop.
I thought it was actually kind of cute that you sent me
I know.
the rom-com suggestions knowing up. There she is.
No, it's here.
There. Right
This
there.
one.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is,
Can you read her handle?
yeah. Claire, not Danes. Claire, not Danes. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Claire, not Danes. It's out of focus, but
Mhm.
Claire, not Danes.
We'll give her a little
You're
cred.
adorable, and we followed your rom-com suggestions, and we watched, what was the first
Well, we
one?
went in order, so whatever the first
Yeah.
one is, you got to play her thing a little bit there. Maybe play the volume down so we
Yeah.
can see it. But she had recommended, I think, 5 or 6 comroms.
Yes.
And so we just kind of went in order.
So we watched this one.
No,
Oh,
that's
no,
not
that
it.
wasn't
Went
it.
too
That
far.
was, I went too far.
We watched, you just,
Okay.
+1.
+1.
Right.
With Maya Erskine and Jack Quaid, who I'm pretty sure, everything's
It's not
too
working.
bright.
You're having such
There.
a time right now with this.
+1.
computer. Okay.
It
was cute.
Yeah, it was really adorable. Jack Quaid, I believe, is Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan's son. Is that true?
I don't
Or am
know.
I making up lies?
You're probably making it up because of Quaid, but that's fine.
Well, I think there's a relation
guessing.
there, but they were cute. It was
They were
a
really
cute
cute.
rom-com. As we commented, we didn't
I didn't feel the chemistry between the two of them.
Quite buy the chemistry between the two of them. I loved each of the characters. She played a really good, quirky girlfriend.
Yep.
But didn't come across
there wasn't
as
a
that
warmth about her that I wanted. So I wanted a little bit more. I wanted a little more vulnerability from her. She was very tough the whole time. Yeah.
She got vulnerable at the end, though.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
But it was cute. It was a really cute movie. Totally enjoyed it. And then I booked tickets to go to
Talk about our day.
Yes. So after watching the rom-com in bed and having, I had some mud water, this drink, and you had a matcha. And then we went to the Pabst Mansion
here
in
awesome.
Milwaukee.
It was really cool.
So an old historic home that has been saved and preserved by amazing people that care.
Yeah.
Because it takes millions of dollars to preserve and
tell the story of what
volunteers to run it.
Well, tell what almost happened. We were talking to one of the docents there about the history of the building. So it was built in 1850.
Well, late 1800s, early 1900s.
No, it was built in 1850.
Oh, 1850?
Yeah.
I thought, okay.
Because when the Archdiocese took over for 60 years.
Yeah, more than 60 years.
Yeah, so they sold it in 1860.
Okay.
And in 1977, the building to the east of it
wanted to buy it
and tear it down and turn it into a parking lot.
I know.
That's that song.
That's so crazy.
Paved Paradise and put up a parking lot.
I think it's Pink Paradise.
It's not Paved Paradise?
No, I think it's Pink Paradise.
It's Pink Paradise. Put up a parking. There's no way. It can't be
look
Pink
that up.
Paradise.
I think it's Pink Paradise.
All right, you keep talking. Go ahead.
Can we wager on this?
Sure. How much you want to wager?
$10.
How about nudity? Outside. By yourself. Holding a Bears flag. Seriously, what would you want to bet? I'm listening to the lyrics.
Go to the lyrics.
but I'm listening to the. The paved paradise and put up a parking lot. There you go.
Okay.
Time for you to go outside right now wearing a Bears flag around your shoulders and nothing else.
I've been singing Pink Paradise my entire life.
Well, there's a name of a pink hotel in there.
They paved paradise and put up a parking lot. Oh, with a pink hotel.
It's a pink hotel, though. I can get what you got that, right? I can understand where you got that part.
that's how I got pink. I'm
right,
so
wrong.
We
can play for people. Then this part. Don't it always seem
Who
to
originally wrote that song?
I can't remember.
I believe it's Joni Mitchell.
I think it is Joni Mitchell, yes.
Okay, can I get a half a point back for getting
no.
that?
You're going outside tonight. Follow us on Instagram Live this evening when you run up and down Diversity Boulevard with a Bears flag around your neck with your nudiness.
I think we got to do playback. I'd like to do a playback, please. Or I'd like to do a review. I don't believe I agreed to that.
The moment you said you want to bet, you were agreeing to any terms and conditions. Yes, ma'am. Them's the rules.
That's not.
Show your nudies. Cut through the wind with those diamonds. Get it? I bet the guys get it. You listen.
You're such a boy. I'm so sorry.
Terribly a boy.
I'm so sorry.
We did have a nice day. We went to the Pabst Theater. Or no, not the Pabst Theater. Sorry, the Pabst House.
The Pabst Mansion. It's called the Pabst Mansion. And they had
founders of Pabst Brewing.
Pabst Brewing. Yep. And every room had its own Christmas tree and Christmas decor. And it was
beautiful.
Self-guided. And you walk through the rooms and they're well preserved. And it was just magical. It was really beautiful.
And then we went to downtown Milwaukee.
And then we went to St. Kate's Hotel, and they had this amazing artist fair going on where you could buy, Christmas gifts and artisans like on many floors. It was really impressive. But we sat at the bar in the Aria restaurant and had a glass of bubbles. We had a glass of bubbles,
We had some champagne.
We did.
We had some Prosecco.
We did. And because I had very little food in my stomach, You had to go get me some meatballs
I
from
ran
downstairs.
downstairs to
Yeah.
a pizza place and got you some meatballs because I know how much you like meatballs.
Not when you say it like that.
Oh, you love meatballs. Bow, bow, bow.
And then...
Hey, baby, I got some meatballs for you.
Okay. Mom? Mom? This guy's creepy. And then we went to the motor restaurant, which is at the Harley Davidson Museum.
And yesterday we had a marvelous day because Friday night we went to a family Christmas party. Is this like a chronological podcast?
It's just telling everybody how much fun we're
Our
having.
schedule just did this. And then we did that. Welcome to the podcast of In Order We Did the Following. How fucking boring are we right now?
No, to be honest, a day like today was special for me because I haven't always had partners that would do the, hey, you want to go to the museum and see the Christmas decorations? Or you want to go sit and have a glass of champagne?
You dated men. You're dating someone that likes rom-coms. Cries at them.
I guess that's what I needed. A man that cries at rom-coms.
I'm so embarrassed.
You shouldn't be.
I'm going to go watch some football right now. You carry on.
I'm going to go do something manly.
I'm going to go run into a wall. And touch my junk afterward.
Turn on a power drill, maybe.
Speaking of power drills, can we tell them what we did this afternoon then?
But it did. Let's get back to serious topics. It
We had a
is
nice
meaningful in terms of our relationship because to find a partner that wants to do those things. And I would not have in the past thought that was important to me. And it's not until I experience with you that I'm just awash with this feeling of, God, how nice is it to have a partner that would do shit like that with me?
Well, I enjoy it.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I like going to the, here's what's interesting. I don't know what you took out of the Pabst Mansion. I can tell you why I was interested in going.
Why?
Because it's old construction. I knew it was going to be beautiful woodworking. And so that was really the appeal to me. Less the decor or some of the other intricacies that maybe would appeal to you, I'm guessing. For me, it really was... Like when I pointed out the hinges, right? I'm like, these are 1/4-inch thick pieces of metal. There are these gorgeous hinges on these beautiful doors. And so I'm more fascinated with the artistry of the construction.
Yeah.
That's why going to that old house was really appealing to me.
Yeah,
and
they
then,
do not make them like that anymore.
Well, just, I don't know, right? And we had to talk about it too, how there was tapestry or wallpaper above one fireplace, and the only reason they knew it was original wallpaper is because there was a mirror there, and when we took the mirror off, they found the wallpaper, and that previous owners had painted over the wallpaper.
Well, it was the Archdiocese when all that ornate stuff went out of style, and they painted right over the wallpaper. They painted over, not the woodwork. Thank goodness.
Well,
the woodwork
we
was
look
still
at it
preserved,
now with
but
this kind of travesty because it was an 1850s house, and how could they do that? But in 1870, when they got it, it was just an old house that they wanted to fix up, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't. They weren't thinking 110 years from now or 150 years from now, right? They were just thinking it's a building that we want to make look like ours. So I kind of cut some slack there. However, to tear it down would have been disgusting.
yeah,
Put a parking lot up would have been gross. But it was,
pink parking lot.
I'm telling you, you lost the bet. Go back and listen to it after this. You're running down the block naked with a Bears flag around your neck.
They paved paradise.
I'll let you wear a Peyton jersey so only your lower half is naked. How's that?
Oh, gee, thanks.
How fair am I?
Yeah, not happening.
So I had a wonderful day. We had a wonderful Friday night because we went to a family party at my uncle's house. Then stayed with my mom. Went out for lunch for her birthday, which was great with Alex and Sam. Learned that Alex's fiance listens to our podcast. And the previous
Hi,
one.
Sam.
Hey, Sam. The previous one just fucking crushed me. I listened to it and laughed my ass off. So this one's got a pale in comparison. Though we had a great weekend, and then today's my mom's birthday as we record this, and
And your
my son
son's.
Sam's birthday as we record this. So
Happy birthday, Carol and Sam.
But then we went to, you were starting to say it, we went to the Harley Davidson Museum and had some lunch there.
Yeah, they have a restaurant there. Yeah. And we did not go to the museum this time, but I promise I'll take you. It's pretty cool.
No, we went to places that I had not been to in Milwaukee. Yeah. So I said to you when we were driving, I appreciate you teaching me things around here. I mean, sadly, everything closes by 4:00 on a fucking Sunday.
Yeah, it does.
Still getting used to that. But
especially in winter.
Yeah.
But
I had a great time with you.
Yeah,
you know
it was.
I
wouldn't
was a really
just good day.
Say that shit if I didn't want to.
It was a really good day.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
And this is we'll have one more podcast before
We're
the holidays,
going to do a Christmas
right?
year-end one, probably, maybe 2. Mm-hmm. So I want to hit 30 podcasts, which will be 2 more from now because we just did 28. This is 29.
Okay.
So it'll be cool to hit 30. And the next year I want to get 50.
Okay.
That's once a week.
Okay.
So we'll do it.
We're getting better.
We had nothing to do today, which was nice. We didn't have house prep. We didn't have to get ready for contractors coming. We really had nothing to do but chill. Mm-hmm. And so last night we went to a friend's party, which was really fun. I hope you had a good time at the party.
Absolutely.
And then here we are.
Yeah.
And so we said we got a podcast because we're going to go tell everybody what we're going to do. We're going to watch another rom-com of Claire, not Dane, suggestions. Thank you, Claire. Yep.
And then probably also watch Tombstone.
Tombstone tonight. So
Yellowstone.
Yeah, Yellowstone.
Tombstone is a different show, isn't it?
That was with Kurt Russell.
I
think so. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the worst podcast we've ever done. It's floating in ether going nowhere.
Well, I have a topic I'd like to talk about.
All right, you go, and I'm just going to listen and fantasize about you losing bets.
Okay. So with the impending holidays, we're both divorced, obviously. That's no secret. Okay, you're stuck on my foot. We're both divorced. You have 3 children. I have 2 children. And so figuring out who goes where, when during the holidays can be stressful. Mm-hmm. And I think you and I are not quite as stressed, but I do worry about the kids being stressed, like them feeling like they're being pulled in multiple directions. And that can be kind of hard. Yep. Because you don't want anybody to, you want the stress. Ideally, you want the holidays to be this happy, stress-free time, but it isn't always that. In fact, I think if you did a poll, most people would say absolutely the most fucking stressful time of the entire year.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have to do what makes you happy, right?
Yeah.
And you want to be respectful to the other people.
Yeah.
And I think from here on out, I think every year is going to be different. I don't think there's going to be anything consistent.
How do you want
about the holidays?
How do you want it to go down?
Well, I sort of take a gauge of my kids if there's anything major going on for them to maneuver around. But if there's not, obviously you and I being together, we got to figure out what we want to do.
Yeah.
And then, sort of check in on what the family wants to do. But it's kind of hard, because when your parents aren't together anymore, you have more spots you want to hit. And then when you have a significant other, you want to go to their family stuff too. Yeah. And even this year, my own parents have gone to Arizona and decided not to come home for the holidays. Right. Which I totally respect. Yeah. But that's a first, where they decided to, with everybody's lives being so busy, Mom and Dad decided to take care of themselves. And I do respect that, but I'll miss them. It's kind of weird.
I think you'll agree. I'm a big fan of, I just want to see them at some point, right? And exchange some gifts and hang for more than an hour, right? I don't want an hour.
I know.
Oh, here's lunch. See ya. I like to spend a half a day with them. And I know it's not the same because they've got their own lives and they're older. And, the good news is we have each other. So it's not like we have a hard time spending time with one another because we'll enjoy ourselves in some way.
Yeah.
I just would love to spend time with each of our sets of kids. And they don't have to be all together. Just
Well, it'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Ideal,
Wouldn't it be great
if
we had all
okay
5 of them
not.
here and their significant others, and we just hooped it up?
It's okay if it's not, right?
Because I think they would all get along. It has to be okay if it's not. It's not that it's okay. It just is, and it's about accepting what is.
Well, maybe that's it, right?
Yeah.
And so I don't care if it's Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, day after, 2 days before. I would just like a 5 hours at least, right? Some healthy
that
time.
quality time where
That's all.
where you come up, you eat, and then you lay on the couch in a food coma, and then you are hungry again, and you pull out the leftovers, and then you wake up in your jammies the next day and you eat.
I just don't think it's ever going to be that again.
Really?
Yeah, but I understand why. Because they all have their own lives. They're doing their own shit. Your 2 kids, okay, Key's in Seattle. She's not coming back this week.
Right.
Sam wants to get back to Iowa because of baseball, so he wants to practice his shit. Your Sam and Mac are in San Diego, so they may make a trip to go see your mom and dad, but they're not coming back here.
And my son Sam is in Chicago, but
he may be going out to Arizona or San Diego to visit his daughter.
Sister.
His daughter. Oh, fuck. To visit your daughter.
Yeah, I don't know what the latest is on that. I got to find out.
But my point is, they're adults now. I mean, they've got, and of course, my daughter and her fiance want to do their thing, and so it's my favorite word. You always talk about it.
I do.
You do. You bring up dialectic all the time, and it sucks, and it also just is.
Yeah.
Right? So
yeah. Absolutely.
I don't know. Was there a purpose to this? Was there like advice you want to give?
I guess I don't know if I have advice. Maybe it was just a little self-talk, talking off the ledge. But I just think about
talking off the ledge.
I just think that this is a real thing that has to be dealt with every holiday, year after year. The dynamics of a family divided, and then the dynamics of our kids having significant others and having the obligations to that side of the family too. And it just makes for some really complicated holidays. And then down the road, you can see that, somebody has kids, like if Alex and Sam have babies and they have a house someday, maybe it's going to be about going to their house and a new tradition begins because there's a baby involved. And so nothing, I think it's just important to stay fluid. And, I know it's important to me to really make sure that my kids and what they need is that I hope I'm listening to them too. It's just not easy. So being kind to each other during this holiday season it's not always easy.
Well, again, I don't always want to be the parent that concedes, if that's the right word. I don't always want to be the one that says, all right, fine, that family wants to do X, this family wants to do Y, fine, I'll take a back seat. I don't always want to be that person.
No, of course not.
At the same time, I'd be hypocritical if I was saying, no, I want the 25th or some link to a date. I will emphasize it over and over again. And if I were to give advice to people who are divorced and also that kind of stuff, my thing would be if it's really just quality time that you want.
Yeah.
And define what that looks like so everybody has an understanding of what that means. So I don't want just 2 hours at lunch.
Yeah.
That's not going to cut it for me. So if we can't do 5-6 hours of, I don't know, playing games, watching a movie, having a nice dinner, cooking together, right? To me, it'd be a blast if people came over and we cooked and made desserts and all that stuff.
Right.
Where we had a day. If that can't be exactly on the date of whatever holiday it is, then give me the 29th. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I want a day this time of year. Let me back up. That's even fucking more crazy. All I ever want to do with my kids is go skiing and then have Father's Day with them. That's it.
Yeah.
I've always talked about that because I've earned the Father's Day thing, and the skiing I like.
Yeah.
So, if we can't get together during the holidays, and it's not ideal, as long as I can carve out some quality time, I don't know. That's That's okay for me.
Mm-hmm.
Does it sound weird? You're having a face right now. You're making
No,
a confusing face.
No, I'm processing, with my kids, thinking about my kids. My daughter being in San Diego, I'm not going to see her. I haven't seen her on a lot of holidays, especially with COVID. It doesn't always allow for them to come home for that holidays.
Right.
And it makes me sad. But I know she has to work. She's in the service industry, so she has to work.
Also, they've got their lives and they've got a budget, and it costs money to go places. And I try to think back to when I was that age. I just wanted to be with my friends. Like, I didn't dislike my parents. If I had a choice going out with my college friends, though, and right.
Yeah.
Or go sit with my mom and dad to watch a movie. It would be, well, God, I hope it's Sunday, because on Sunday I can go do that. But Friday or Saturday or Thursday,
yeah,
I'd rather be with my friends. So I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. And they're going to go, in my opinion, if they have kids one day, they're all going to feel the same exact emotion. I got to believe. You see it with my mom now, how she just loves the company, how she wants her grandchildren just to show up. Because it starts getting, I'm going to get really deep into the pool on you right now.
Do it.
Think about when you're first married, okay, regardless of the outcome of the marriages, right?
Yeah.
Let's not get caught up in that. But when you're first married, you're going to that family's parties, you're going to your family's parties. Ultimately, you're coming home, and then you have your first kid. And then your Christmas becomes, for example, Christmas, it becomes you opening up gifts under your tree now. Are you crying?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
Mm-mm.
but you're starting to cry.
No, I just had a little yawn I was trying to snuff in.
Oh, you can yawn. You're tired. I get it. So it's not because I'm boring you.
Not at all.
Okay. So it's so funny, by the way, that Sam, Alex's fiance, thinks that you put me on a pedestal all the time. You're perfect. So I think you know where I'm going with this. I think you can feel where I'm going with it too. That it's a normal transition, and you, as a parent, I've learned now, and I can appreciate my parents more because of it, that when our kids were little and 1 year old, that Christmas is goofy because they don't know what they're doing. But when they become 2 and 5 and 7 and they start to understand opening gifts, and they're excited about coming downstairs by the tree, and then even as they get to be teenagers and there's more things going on, there's a certain level of chaos that happens.
Yeah.
And you get familiar with that noise, and as hard as it can be sometimes with, come on, we got to get going, get your shoes on, we're late for grandma's, and where's my this? And the one kid going, I want to take my doll with me. All that potentially negative stuff.
Yeah.
You have to admit, as a parent, that's why I think we look forward to being grandparents so much, because there's a chaos of life that feels rewarding. And then suddenly they're gone.
I know.
And suddenly it is truly the right word, because I can still remember their first Christmases and the excitement on their faces, and them waking us up at 3:30 in the morning. Santa's here. And, well, Santa said sleep for another hour and a half. But right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And so there's a certain
Santa's not here quite yet. He said
He
10 a.m. At
but
the
he
latest.
ate the cookie. That was your mother. So that's what I relate to. And if someone's listening to this can relate to that, and if you relate to that, I'd like to hear it. There is a certain chaos of life when you first get married and have kids, and then you get that chaos for 20 fucking years, at least. You get it for 20 years.
Yeah.
You get a certain level of chaos for about 20 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you and I were married in our past our 20th year.
Yes.
So we had minimum of 20 years of chaos. And I think if you can embrace the word chaos, I mean paper wrapping up and you having to do things and pick up stuff, and you go take a shower first because I'll take one later. I'll get the kids ready. Right? It's all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And then one goes away to college. It's, well, the chaos is a little bit less, but you're embracing it. And then another one goes away and you're like, oh, okay, wow, there's not a lot left. And then obviously for me, the third one, right? And so on and so forth. So that's what I miss, is the chaos.
Yeah.
And so to have a little grandchild around and be able to watch them open up a gift.
That's going to be so fun.
Okay, so where am I going with this? My feeling is we've had that time. Now we have each other, at least. We're so fucking lucky to have each other. And the kids are going to want to start building their own chaos.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're going to want to start building their own chaos. And
Do you like that? You know what I'm getting at?
yeah, I do. I mean, really, it's nothing stays static, right? Just when you think it's the same year after year after year and you're stuck on a gerbil wheel, you realize, no, it's been really changing and altering and
moving
morphing
towards
and
something.
moving.
Yeah, morphing, correct. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's not always easy. Because some of that stuff you really, really miss, or are there things you regret that you didn't handle really well in that moment because it just felt so overwhelming? Or, you know, I'm sure we all have those stories. You know, we're all mere mortals. We have those moments. But I do miss parts of those Christmas of old when the kids, you knew they were upstairs sleeping, you know?
Yeah, it was awesome. And again, you never get it back.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And so what I will say is this. I'll give you a weird analogy. When Alex finished playing volleyball and her team lost in the NCAA tournament to BYU, there were tears everywhere.
Yeah.
Her mom was crying. Other parents were crying. I didn't shed a tear.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because I didn't feel bad for her, but because in my mind, I had said to her when she was a freshman, 4 years from now, this will come to an end. So if you know that that's going to happen, you better be embracing every single moment of it. And I've kind of taken that approach with everything in life, that it doesn't mean I'm portending disaster. It's really, I try to stay in that moment as much as possible, knowing that I don't know what tomorrow is going to look like. I do know that the kids have grown up and they want to do their thing.
Yeah.
And I want to be supportive of that. And so if I can get 5 hours over the course of 6 months, that really fills me up. Right.
Yeah.
And that's why I think parents love being grandparents, because you get to relive some of that all over again.
Oh, yeah.
Without all the heartache.
Yeah.
It's a different form. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just rambled a lot.
No,
Sorry,
it
babe.
was
This
good.
was your
It was
podcast.
good rambling. No, it's not. It's our podcast. But, you know, I don't know if I necessarily had a huge point to make in all of that. Just a recognition of how different things are to how they were. And, you know, some of it is due to the fact that we're divorced and in new relationships, but a lot of it is due to just passage of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
It's
sure.
just nothing stays the same. So I think at the end of the day, appreciating all of it and not dwelling too much on the things that aren't anymore. And make sure that we still find those moments even today to be really grateful, even though it looks completely different than how it used to in the past.
Yeah.
Quality time with the kids.
I think holidays are tough. And I know in my family, particularly for my mom and my sister, I think it's going to be really tough because of my dad being gone. And not that it doesn't upset me. Again, I had different perspective for so many reasons, all totally fine. But it is going to be hard. And so my point is, when you are together, just embrace it, right? Like try to be with one another. And how about that thing we read at the Pabst house, Pabst Mansion, where he wrote the will? We read his will.
Yes.
Right. And it just made me, you know where I'm going with this, right? Where he said, he just wrote this letter to his kids saying he had 5 kids, 5 that died and 5 that survived. Crazy. Right. But to his 5 kids, he said, can you just please, he really said, can you live with love? Right? That's what he was really saying. The whole
and be kind to each other.
Be kind to each other.
And be kind to your mother.
Be kind to your mother. And
she knows my wishes. Please be kind to her and be kind to each other and be respectful.
And be happy about it.
Honor the family.
Yeah.
Honor the name. Honor all of it.
Well, it really was life. You know, we're all going to go. Be filled with love if you can. I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was a really cool letter that he wrote.
Agreed.
As a preface to his will.
Agreed.
So it was cool. Anyway, did I take this down the path that did I take over? I just fucking took over, didn't I? I'm sorry.
I need you, babe. I don't always have you, babe. The complete thought. So
well, I'd love talking. I'd love the holiday conversation because I feel there's too much emphasis on that particular day or date, and it's better just to tell the people you love, hey, I need 5 or 6 hours with you, even if it's just sitting around being bored out of your
Right.
ass. I just want to look at you for 5 hours.
Right.
So can you indulge me once a year?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, okay. Let's, you want to transition to the
Let's do it.
Okay. So the Gottmans are a couple that we follow. We love their writing. We've listened to one of their books recently in a car ride. Mm-hmm. They have a card pack, the Gottmans card pack.
Yep.
Which is designed for relationship enhancement. It's an app. Yep. Mm-hmm. And so we'd like to give them some props every time, because at the end of our show, this is what we do. And so I pulled up some open-ended questions. Does that one work for you?
That works. Read it.
Okay. So how have your friendships changed lately? How have you grown closer to some friends and more distant from others?
I'd say that is quite true. Yeah. I've done some house cleaning lately. Mm-hmm. I've really, it's interesting because these changes in friendships, they don't happen overnight typically, right? It's like a slow evolution of change, of little moments. And then, an event can happen and it flips the switch. And I've had some relationships that have been like that. Yeah. And I actually, in a lot of ways, feel better about taking a stand for myself. And my stand might look different than someone else's stand. Like not everybody's going to process or take action in the same way.
Right.
But I definitely, as I've gotten older, I am, and really since being with you and feeling empowered in this relationship, because you are such an amazing support for me. So I don't feel as vulnerable because I know you are there to listen to me and catch me and support me and counsel me and that's your job. Okay. And you're and I just feel I feel more empowered, I think, in a way that I haven't been when I was younger. And you would, it's almost silly. I'm almost 57 years old, and you would think, gosh, Kath, when you're just getting your shit together now on some of that stuff. Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know what to say to that. But I've definitely redefined some friendships. Some have ended. Some are just, redefined. Mm-hmm. And new friendships, I would say there's new acquaintances. But I don't know. Do you think at this age that you could ever develop a new friendship that would be as deep or as rich and as historied as the previous ones?
Well, so to answer how have my friendships changed, I'm with you. As I've gotten older and learned a lot, I think you and I both came from a place when we met each other of massive fucking learning, right? We both had gone down our respective paths that were just not serving us. Mm-hmm. And from my point of view, that gave me power and confidence to look at all of my relationships now and go, which of these are really serving me? Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
And so, and by the way, I don't discount the fact that other people may even look at us, either together as individually, and not want to be with us anymore because they feel we've changed.
Sure.
So I just think they evolve because your life evolves. And either some people, you said you liked this saying the other day, some people are a paragraph, some people are of your life, some people are a chapter of your life, some people are a book of your life, some people are a library, right? Or they're volumes of stuff with you.
Yeah.
And we don't often know when that's going to change.
Right.
So we do our best, I think, to try to keep those friendships alive. And then to answer your question about, can I see forming a relationship as you get older like this? It's harder. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's much, much harder.
Yeah.
However, I met some cool people at the party last night that I didn't know, and you never know what could happen with that.
Yeah.
I certainly appreciate like our next door neighbor, Marty. And
Marty and
you never
Julie.
know what kind
Awesome
of friendship
people.
could evolve from those things.
Yeah.
So it's just really a matter of being open to change. So yeah, I've had some friends that have fallen off, and for right reasons. Like I've had to say goodbye to a couple of friends recently where we were going in wrong directions and it wasn't serving me. Mm-hmm. And so if there's any takeaway from, this question, I was just being more responsive to myself.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that
Yeah.
answers.
No, that's good.
What are you thinking?
That's good. I think it happens, and I like what you said, and keeping an open heart to the new people that come into our lives, and they might not compare to that friend you've had for 40 years, but it doesn't mean that they won't have rich value in your life. And I think it's really beautiful to forever stay open to that.
Yeah, I don't know that anyone will compare to someone like John or even Pat.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people have been in my life for a long time. At the same time, there's going to be someone that has, like Russ, the guy that I met through Pat. I'm enjoying his company. We're going to try to ride together more. And I don't know what it's going to evolve into. And I'd like to think that throughout the course of my life, this is just a journey. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just on this boat until the water runs out. And so have the attitude of meeting a bunch of people, and who the fuck knows what could happen.
I know.
And,
I love people. I love
much
those
more than I do.
connections.
You're much better at than I am, for sure.
I think my time I think all of our time on this planet is about connecting with other people. It truly is.
Yeah.
It's not about how much money you make and how many vacations you go on. It's those relationships.
Foch.
Yeah. All right.
All right,
Well, is that a good note to end on?
It's always a good note to end on.
All right, babe.
All right, babe. Hey, yo.
Peace.
Peace. See ya. Jack and Cathy Shit Show outro take 652.
You should start off laughing. You just listened to another episode of the Jack and Cathy Shit Show.
Our senior producers are me.
Hey, and me.
This episode was produced, engineered, and mixed by
the amazing Key Honar.
Email your questions, comments, or interesting relationship stories to jackandcathyshitshow@gmail.com. That is Cathy with a C.
Be sure to follow and like our marvelous shit show on Instagram and TikTok at Jack and Cathy Shit Show. Apparently liking and following is a thing.
It is?
Yeah.
This episode was produced by Pint Productions 2022. Point!